And here we go. I am meteorologist Ben Peine. It has been at 10. It's my weather show, but it's your show here in Southern Indiana and beyond. Thanks for watching. If you're on right now, you're probably Beverly Haggis. She's on always first, but it might be that you're watching the replay. And you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've got some information about Weddington Custom Homes. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesdays with Weddington. So we are going to have Brad Weddington popping on the show. So that means this guy will be up here in about 10 minutes. I got to check out one of his custom home builds in Henryville yesterday. That was gorgeous. And so we're going to be talking about some of the features there. And if you have any questions around the home, and even if you're watching the replay, later this afternoon or tonight, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll collect them for later. We've got a couple comments from the post I did yesterday. We'll talk more about that. And again, there is Brad Weddington with Weddington Custom Homes. And if you have any questions for Brad, you can also send me an email. There you can see it rolling across the bottom of your screen, ben@extolmag.com. You can go to Wednesdays with Weddington on Facebook, like and follow, or you can contact Brad there with more contact information at weddingtoncustomhomes.com. So this is the show, Ben at 10. So what we're going to do here, if you're new to the program, we are going to look at the forecast right off the bat. Get you ready for that. Then we are going to dig deep into the forecast. And then we're going to dig deeper into the forecast, into the weather nerd portion where we're going to look at the weather models. We're going to analyze together. Sometimes we're looking at those weather models for the first time at the same time. And then we'll do a recap later on in case some folks are joining on a little bit later. So that's typically the flow. But, whatever you want me to show, if I've got the maps, I'll throw them up. Always welcome to suggestions and comments. And let me know where you're watching from. As well, as I mentioned, Beverly Haggis from Borden, Indiana. Don't know how you do it every morning. And Orlean got a little rain in the rain gauge, you told me in a comment on a different post. So good morning. Sun is shining. What a beautiful weather we've had so far. It's been a good September, and it's been good that some places did get the rainfall yesterday. Indiana got almost nothing. There was just like one little isolated shower in southern Indiana. Kentucky, especially southern Kentucky, got much more of that rain, which is where the weather models said it would be when we looked at that yesterday. So that was correct. And as we now take a look at the weather headlines here for you for this September the 3rd, happy hump day. Warm and dry today. It's going to be up around 85 degrees. You may notice a touch more humidity as well. We've got rain moving in with a cold front overnight tonight after midnight. That'll linger into tomorrow morning. We'll track that here in a second. It'll last a little longer in Kentucky. But then we've got another rain chance with a second cold front that'll move in Friday evening into Saturday morning. So a couple shots of some rain. And then we have 70s on the way for tomorrow, lower 70s, and also 70s this weekend. We get a brief bump in the temperatures ahead of the second front Friday as we move back into the low mid-80s. We've got a comment here from Beverly Haggis. My son works at Baptist Floyd Hospital in New Albany and said it poured there. Yeah, we just had a couple of those little isolated showers in Indiana. You had to get really lucky. The play ball forecast right off the bat here, 78 at noon, dry today, 85, 77 at 8 p.m. And that looks like good golfing weather for me this afternoon. Southwest wind at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. And a peek outside, there you can see that beautiful blue sky here live in uptown New Albany at the corner of Vincennes and Market. The red truck has the green light heading down Vincennes right there as we take a look at that live look here for you. And let me go ahead and bring up the radar and satellite so you can see what we're going to be talking about today. There's that front to our northwest. We've got dry conditions. And the little disturbance that gave us rain yesterday over parts of mostly Kentucky off to the east over the Appalachians. But there you can see that front poised to the northwest. And we are going to take a close look hour by hour at the weather model data and time out that rainfall on the way again here in just one moment. Let me get out of the full screen mode right here. And just want to give you a couple things to check out whenever you want. Here is extolmag.com/weather. There's our live stream up right there. There's Brad, who we're going to talk about with here in just a second with Wednesdays with Weddington. Some cool features in these new homes I want to show you. There's the 7-day forecast that I posted and look at the day 1, day 2 severe weather risk. We are not under any severe weather risk. We are under a drought over parts of the area. You can see the drought monitor right there. As I scroll down a little bit more, here is the big old interactive radar, which, again, no rain around us right now. Plop on the temperatures and zoom back in and play along live here with the interactive radar. Also, a lot of other weather tools on here, too. Temperatures here starting to make their way into the upper 60s with the weather observation stations there all across the area. All right, I'll back out of the full screen mode there and take another look outside at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. So mix of sunshine and a few clouds out there. Had a foggy start in some spots. Not sure if you're out early enough to see some of that fog, but if it was really foggy in your location, maybe a valley location, a lot of that has lifted and evaporated. And this is a live look at the fallsoftheohio.org/webcam if you ever want to check that out. A couple announcements before we dive deeper into that forecast here for you. I want to give a shout out to our partners, Lions Roofing, covering you in southern Indiana and Kentucky, literally covering your house. So pun intended there, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You get free estimates here online. Of course, they do custom home builds, which we'll talk about here in a second, commercial homes, residential roofs. You can talk about financial help. And if you go to the career section, there is a job opening here, roofing repair technician. Speaking of job openings, we talk about it all the time. A lot of career choices here for you, maybe a family member or a friend at Libs Paving, Libb as in Ben, spaving.com. I was chatting with them this morning because, of course, rain gets in the way of their work. So I was giving them an update on that rain tomorrow morning. But you can see a lot of the job postings here. You just click on Learn More, and you can apply there online. You can also level up your career, change careers, maybe get into a career by just heading to Ivy Tech. Go to the Sellersburg location there, and you can see me live just clicking and scrolling. You can learn so much more at their webpage, all about their campus, the Ivy Tech experience. So much you can check out. When you click on the Ivy experience, it's going to take you to this video kind of tour here. And again, learning more there online. Or they've got Tuesdays at the Tech that you can register for. And you can get that one-on-one experience and learn more about that. So dual credit, if you're in high school, get that dual credit. It is free. It can get you a head start in college. And my man, Michael Long, we're going to be golfing today up in Salem, doing a little golf and talk. So we might see an interview with Michael Long here from AmFam, American Family Insurance. Proud to be an American Star certified agency, excellence in customer experience. Tell him I sent you for that quote. If you're wanting a better experience, I recommend him to you, 812-578-3072, or you can go to his landing page here online, amfam.com. So there you go. Again, thanks to all of our partners and for you for being here to make all of this work on Ben at 10. Got a couple more comments coming in. We've got Vicky Berger with a foggy report there in Salem, Indiana. There was some nice looking fog in the Borden Valley as well when I was scooting out to work this morning, but a lot of it fading away. By the way, quick, big happy break here with a coffee drink. Cheers. It would be a nice morning to be out on the back deck or the front porch. Lillian Lasley, good morning. Got the rain yesterday. Good for you, Lillian. You were one of the lucky ones, that is for sure. And we got Christian popping in the comments. Home from Michigan. Nothing yet from the Carmel Fire Department, but good luck to you. Again, you see at the bottom of your screen the scrolling information there referring to our Wednesdays with Weddington that's coming up here in just a couple minutes. But first, let's get back to that forecast. Again, here it is. Warm and dry for today. Rain tomorrow morning comes in overnight, and then we'll have another chance late Friday evening and into Saturday morning. Second cold front. So some changes on the way, kind of some ups and downs here off and on. And as we look ahead, we've got 70s tomorrow and 70s for the weekend. Your play ball forecast, we're going to go 85 this afternoon. Looks like it'll stay dry across the area with a southwest wind at around 5 to 15. Here are the stupid dad jokes. Always trying to put a few together here for you. Why was the weatherman always calm? He knew how to weather the storm. How do you know it's a sassy cloud? It throws shade all day. Now, that one's not too bad. And this one, some you folks that are middle-aged like me and older might be able to relate to this one. It's not really a joke necessarily, but we can relate. I don't need a weather app. If my knees hurt, it's cold. If they really hurt, it's really cold. I've actually heard that before in real life. Here's the weather history for today. In 1925, the USS Shenandoah, a dirigible, which is an airship or a blimp, on its 57th flight crashed near Caldwell, Ohio, when it ran into a line of strong thunderstorms. The commander of the flight knew the possibility of bad weather, but was ordered to fly anyway. He and 13 others were killed. We go from jokes to weather history. Weather history is a lot of times a big bummer, kind of sad, but here we go. 1970, a hailstone fell in Coffeyville, Kansas, that was 5.7 inches in diameter, almost 6 inches, weighed 1.7 pounds. For 30 years, it was the largest hailstone recorded in the United States. Can you imagine getting hit on the head by a 2-pound ice ball? 1975, Indianapolis, the fire department reports 350 calls of lightning strikes. All right, moving on here. Our countdown. The before 8 p.m. sunsets in 6 days. Autumn in 19 days, less than 3 weeks. Average highs in the 70s and 21 days. And average highs in the 60s and 46 days. And I've got a little change to the allergy report. It is ragweed season. I think it's impacting me. You're going to see me here off and on with the Kleenex because I don't think it's a cold. It's just kind of dried out for whatever reason. Maybe the ragweed is impacting you as well. But I'm going to drop it a little bit Thursday with that rain moving through. UV index up to a 7 today. You can get a burn out there. I'll try to remember my sunscreen for golfing later today. And then your forecast summary for your September 3rd, 2025, a high of 85 today, mostly sunny. You probably notice a touch more humidity today. Southwest winds bringing some of that in at 5 to 15. That humidity rise is ahead of the cold front. That'll bring in some changes for tomorrow. Sunset 8:09. Tonight's forecast after midnight, we start to bring in some of those rain showers. 64 our low for tonight, and that rain will continue into part of tomorrow morning. Now, southern Indiana will dry out first. We might see parts of Indiana dry out by mid-morning, and then it might be early afternoon before we see that rain moving out of parts of Kentucky. So we'll be drying out from northwest to southeast tomorrow, 60s in the morning, and just 74 for the afternoon high as we have a dry afternoon. So the wettest will be early morning for tomorrow. 7-day forecast. We've got the second front moving in. Most of Friday's dry, but by Friday evening, we'll start to introduce a chance of some showers as the next front moves in. Ahead of that front, we get a quick bump in temperature. So about a 10-degree rise from tomorrow to Friday with a high of 85, but then more than a 10-degree drop Saturday. So a little roller coaster here behind that front Saturday. Could see a shower early Saturday, especially in Kentucky. But again, it's that situation where we dry out from north to south pretty quickly Saturday morning and then dry Saturday afternoon. I'll be heading to the IU football game Saturday. Sunday, 75, and the weather models have been drying out more and more for next week. So that would be a good trend, especially for construction workers. We're going to talk to one of those kind of people here in just a second as well. Looks like, Christian, you'll get some here later on tonight with that front. And we've got a comment coming in from Denise Capel Montgomery. My daughter works there too, Beverly. Oh, okay. Baptist, I assume you're talking about. Vicky lives a mile from the golf course. Thank you. Western Hills, I believe it is called, there in Salem. We'll be out there a little bit later today. And Lillian's got a report of 69 degrees, and Christian just had a report of 67 degrees. Thanks for those thermometer reports. And now it is time, as I put in the earpiece here, I'll bring this guy up to the stage here and to the tube box. There he is, Bradley Weddington. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. You can't ask for better weather than what we have here right now. I mean, it's beautiful.
We say that every time you're on. You got the magic of beautiful weather. If you look back at every one of these episodes, Wednesdays with Weddington, he's had good weather in the backyard. I don't know what it is. That's exactly right. But so yesterday, thanks for having me out to one of your new builds. It's kind of cool to see new trends and just a beautiful house and a beautiful location there in Henryville, not too far from where you are at. Actually, Brad had a couple of homes here. Let me bring this up here for us so we can both see it together. There you can see that majestic beauty. And hey, You're a popular guy, Brad, because I posted this picture of us together at that house and 23,000 views and 268 likes. Maybe it's us, maybe it's the house that got that attention.
It's probably the house. It's probably the house. No, it's a beautiful home. It really is. It's a very unique neighborhood. I mean, you even asked when you were there, Ben. You were like, I had no idea this was here.
Yeah.
So very nice home. That home is about a week and a half away from being moved in. So I know we did a part one, and you're going to want to do a part two once it's 100% complete. So yeah, very unique home.
I was editing that video, so we're gonna get a video kind of tour. And thanks to the homeowners, by the way, for allowing that to happen, and checking out their awesome place there. I mean, I'm an outside guy. I love the outside just as much as the inside of that place. That is a really cool neighborhood there. But let's talk about it, since they're going to be moving in soon. For you as a home builder, I would say, what percentage would you put into your success in communication? Because I remember when you were building our house, I mean, every week we're on your back. When's this going to get done? When's this going to get done? So that has got to be a large part of your job, I would say.
It's part of it. It is. It's everybody's so excited. I mean, they're building a forever home, and as a builder, we have to realize that, sometimes those texts at 7:30 at night, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just excited, and they just want to know, what's progressing, and it's cool. It's cool to see the excitement. It's beautiful to see the home finished. I know for me as a builder, one of the strangest things, and I'll tell homeowners this, is, while I'm building the home, granted, I know the homeowner owns the home, but I view it as my home while we're building it. And, coming and going through the garage and never having to knock. So what's weird is when I show up, let's say they live there for a month, to walk up to the front door and have to knock on the door. It's just, it's weird. So.
Yeah, you do get your own form of ownership for it as well.
You do. You take, we obviously take a lot of pride in what we do. So that's definitely a different change. Yeah.
And custom home building comes on custom land too, because you have to communicate with the the owners, but then you got to communicate maybe with regulatory stuff, where the land, you might have to clear trees, you might have to get this permit or a change in the permit. So can you describe some of those challenges you might encounter, and someone may be looking at some land to watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, like that particular home that you looked at with me yesterday, the front yard looked great, but I had to tell you, hey, we brought in over 50 loads of dirt to make this right, because there was a big dip in it. But yeah, you got to be careful with regulatory. Anytime you're crossing a creek, I've even got it. There's another property out there that I'm looking at to build a house, and they bought 2 lots. That's my dog. That's one of my dogs. Sorry, she jumped up. But that particular home, they bought 2 lots. I believe it was lot 14 and 15, and the house is straddling 2 lots. Well, there was a drainage easement in between them, but the drainage easement was meant for a home to be on 14, a home to be on 15, and shed the water to that point. It's no longer needed, but we have to do what's called a vacation of easement in order for the county to allow us to build on that. So there's oddities, and there's things that can hang you up along the way. And if you've got a good builder involved, they're going to know those things. The best thing is just experience. A lot of these things I've just learned over time, and now I see a situation and I'm like, hey, we got to get a hold of X, Y, and Z to make this thing work. And it's normally,
and your connections help. Obviously, you've run into this stuff time and time again. So
yeah, it's just when you run into a situation, it's like, hey, I've been here, done this, rode this horse before. Here's how we take care of it. So it's really cool though, and we love building on rural properties because there is an inherent challenge to it, for sure.
Good deal. All right, let me bring back the picture up here. Again, we were talking about this beautiful home here in Henryville, and inside. So this is one of the features that I thought was really cool. I'm going to bring this up full screen. So on the left, it looks like, nice pantry doors, a nice kitchen. You open it up and it just explodes and gets bigger and bigger. And then if you look toward the bottom, zoom in here, you've got what Brad was calling the Costco door, but in Indiana, maybe you call it the Sam's door, referring to the groceries that you can just slide on through. So I did think that was a really cool feature that you got going there, Brad.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Like if you look at the cabinetry, it looks just like a full height,
Wait, did we lose your audio a little bit? Just a second, Brad. Let me, Brad, just 1 second. I lost you for a second. Let me try to bring you back up.
Oh, did I lose you?
Now I hear you. Now I hear you. Yeah, go ahead and repeat that. I lost you for a little bit. I'm not sure what happened.
You're good. I'll repeat it. So from the front, it looks just like your normal standard pantry that's only going to be about 12 inches, 16 inches deep. But once you open those doors, you realize that we've got a full framed walk-in pantry, which is it's incredible because it's hidden behind that, and then the Costco door at the end of that. Directly on the other side of that is going to be your garage. So they'll be able to pull in the garage, open that little door, load all their groceries into their pantry, shut the door, and they're done. It's a shorter
it's one
distance.
Of those funny things that we haven't really thought about until this day.
You're right. You don't think about it until you do it, and you're like, man, that's a smart idea. Why don't we do that on all of them?
Do it every time. And then this was cool, like in their big master, they've got obviously a walk-in closet and all that stuff, but then kind of attached to that, just more convenience factor, more kind of comfort and less effort. You've got the space for the washer and dryer.
Yep. Those are nice too. Those are cabinets that the washer and dryer is going to sit in, and at the end you can kind of barely see it there, but there is a wash basin sink. But yeah, a lot of the plans that we're doing now try to incorporate the laundry room off of the master closet. Just because it's a lot shorter distance. So you're seeing more and more of that. I know on my house, I'm a 2-story and my laundry room's on the main floor. And I thought it was really smart to do a laundry chute, which is cool. I mean, especially when the kids were little, they love throwing stuff down it.
Yeah.
But now we still got to get the clothes back upstairs because all the bedrooms are on the second floor. So you either try to do the laundry room right off the master, or if you've got a 2-story with the bedrooms on the second floor, I see a lot of people do the laundry room on the second floor and just have a type of mud room on the main floor.
Yep, that's exactly what we did. So we don't have to do the up and down the stairs and all that stuff. But you did on this house and on my house, and because we used to get up in the morning as a morning meteorologist at 2 a.m. and then the family's still doing stuff. So just to block out some sound, it's not something visual that you can see or a stylistic thing, but another kind of comfort factor. We all need our sleep. So talk about some of those things you add in to help block some sound and stuff like that.
Yeah, like on yours, you were working that very odd shift and you had little ones at the time. And we just basically, I call it, we cocooned off your master suite from the rest of the home so that you could get rest and all that sound on the outside wasn't going to disturb you. This particular home, we've insulated the interior wall between the master and the living room just to give them that a little additional sound deadening. And Ben, it's one of those things that I don't understand why everybody doesn't suggest it, because we're using what's called bat insulation in those walls, whereas our exterior walls, we're blowing it in, it's a really dense pack, but we're just using batting insulation on those interior walls. And it costs, to run that whole wall, I think is like $170. And the amount of comfort you're going to get off of that 170, it's just money well spent. I mean, it just helps. It helps.
We got a question here from Christian for you, Brad. How long you been doing it?
Started at 18, carrying lumber. I worked on a framing crew, and like I said, I was the lumber carrier. I thought a 2x4 was 2x4. I didn't know anything. So I got doing that, and then kind of gravitated up and eventually became the lead framer on that crew. And uh, life kept pulling me and pulling me and pulling me. And next thing you know, I'm building the whole thing. So I started building homes for somebody else at 22, so 20 years ago.
Very good, very good. All right, moving right along here. We were checking out this picture here. So we're talking about this archway here. You give homeowners the option to build straight arch or archways as far as these doorways go, and in a couple of these houses that you showed me, they're getting taller and taller these days.
Yep. That's especially in the higher end homes, like where you're standing right there. That's 8 foot to the center of that. Maybe a little bit more than that even. So the old standard on doorways was 6'8" and 8 foot tall interior walls. So then you started to see a growth to 9 foot tall interior walls. Now what we're starting to see, that particular home was 9 foot first floor, but the other home in that development, they've got 10 foot first floor walls, and then they've also got 8 foot tall interior doors. So you're seeing a little bit of a growth in ceiling height there. And it.
Yep. All right. So one last thing. This is not a good picture, and I'll admit that. I took this picture right here, but this is the underneath the porches, which we did as well. You can have a tornado shelter, which again, as you mentioned, doesn't cost a whole lot extra if you do it right off the bat.
Correct. Yeah, that's a safe room on that one. And what it is especially if your front porch is not real deep, as far as, when I mean depth, I don't mean vertical depth, I mean front to back depth.
Yeah.
So because when we're digging a basement, we're going to do what's called a 3 foot over dig anyways. In other words, we're going to dig that hole 3 foot larger than the home that's going to go in there. What that does is that allows the panel guys to work on the forms. They've got enough room because they've got that 3 foot barrier behind them. Well, if you've got only a 3 foot or a 6 foot deep front porch, you don't really want to set the footings for that up on top of the ground. You're going to drop it down in the hole too. So long story short, you've already got full height walls there to support your porch. We simply put a drain in the corner, joist out the ceiling, and now you've got a room that you can store items. You can put a safe door on it. It's just a myriad of things that you can do with it. And it would, in other words, be just a wasted area that we would fill full of gravel. So we might as well use what we've got and grow our space.
It's given us peace of mind when I wasn't home tracking tornadoes and things like that. I knew the family had a really safe place to go and get it ready for potential tornado warnings. But I got a couple comments before we wrap this up here, Brad, for you from Eric on Facebook on that post from yesterday. It's very hard to find a builder that builds on your lot for the higher end custom homes in Southern Indiana. Wanting to know your territory. And he wants to know the fee schedules to build and cost, but I think that's more of a personal thing between you and the potential home builder. If Eric wants to get a hold of you, he's got the information there. But your territory, go ahead and explain that.
Yeah, we pretty much cover in Indiana, as far as counties, we cover Clark, Floyd, Harrison, and a little bit of Washington and a little bit of like Southern Scott County. So that's kind of our territory. When it comes to fee schedule, I always say you kind of get what you pay for. So we're normally right there in the middle. I always tell people, we're not going to be the most expensive. We're not going to be the cheapest, but we pride ourselves on a good quality custom home that's going to last you and your family. I always make the joke, I'm gonna send my daughter to college, but it ain't gonna be on one house. So
Right.
It's fair, and we've really grown pretty organically as a company. So most of our growth has been referral based. A lot of existing homeowners have referred me to family members. So that's kind of how our growth has happened. And those are pretty much the territories that we handle, the counties. We used to cross over into Kentucky, and just logistically, it doesn't make any sense for us to do that anymore. So we stay 100% Southern Indiana based.
So to that point, Laura had a question. First of all, she said, "Wow, that's pretty," referring to that home right there. Wonder if he builds in Kentucky. We know the answer to that on a smaller scale. So if they're looking for someone, do you have someone that you would recommend?
I know a couple builders out there that are on the Kentucky side. And that happens, I will have people call me from Kentucky, and once I tell them, hey, I don't build over there, that's one of the first things they say is, well, who would you refer me to? Who would you refer me to? Um, there's a couple over there that I'll send their way, and they can reach out to them and see if it works for them.
All right, fantastic. Anything else you want to add here on this beautiful Wednesday morning?
Now, you said we're going to get some rain, though, didn't you?
We got some rain overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, about a quarter, half inch.
Okay, so enough to knock the
dust down. Yeah. Try to get some grass growing on this yard right here.
Oh, my grass, my yard is green now. How much of it's grass, I don't know.
No, I'm talking about this yard in front of this house right here.
Yard, yeah. That one definitely needs a little bit of moisture on it. And if we get a little bit of rain, that's going to really help that, because that straw is going to help hold that moisture down, really help those seeds germinate. And yeah.
I need to do that too. I need to fertilize and probably reseed here very shortly. Thanks for all the time here, Brad. We're coming up to 10:30, and we will see you on the next episode of Wednesdays with Weddington. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. There you go. There, and you can see the information at the bottom of your screen. If you ever want to get a hold of Brad right there is more information there for you. And let me go ahead and take off that banner right there and take another live look outside. We're about to dig into those weather models here. We typically do that around 10:20. Of course, when we have Brad on the show, we usually go a little bit longer, of course. And again, if you have any more questions for Brad, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and we will get to those. And I want to go ahead and bring up the radar and satellite as I remove that and bring this up here. So that is what we're going to be talking about. We've got this cold front that's going to be dropping into the region. So there it is up to the north. And that cold front is going to bring us down to the lower 70s tomorrow and give us some rain here after midnight tonight. Before that happens, we just got some nice warm sunshine across the area. So we're going to stay warm and dry for today as we're kind of in between some systems out there for today. So thanks. And we had a comment popping in from Perry Porter. Good morning. I've been outside too long with my coffee, enjoying the weather. You can't be outside too long. That is awesome. And Rita Harmon, loving this weather, Ben, but I know we need the rain. And Mary saying the same thing. Mary Dale, good morning. Still looking for that rain. So we are seeing it. It is up to the north. We just got to get it here, and that'll be happening again later on during the late night hours. And so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and bring up the future radar here for you. And typically we're talking about starting off with the high resolution rapid refresh weather model, HRRR. And that'll get us through tomorrow as we look at the 48-hour version of the HRRR. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. And so this is starting off now. It can see the rain off to the northwest. And as we go, I'm just going to jump ahead to this afternoon as we stay dry and the rain stays up to the northwest. Now, let's go to midnight tonight. There's that rain starting to move into the region. Right at midnight, probably still just off to the northwest. I'm going to jump ahead to 2 a.m. And we are not expecting severe weather with this, but might get some decent downpours. Here you can see that rain moving into Bedford, Indiana, up around Columbus and Seymour. This is around 2 o'clock in the morning. Nice to be able to just track some rain. It's been too long, like 2 weeks since we've had measurable rainfall, and it wasn't even that much. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. Here is 4 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go hour by hour here for you. There's 5. Shows a good downpour. Might get some lightning and thunder and some gusty winds, but again, severe weather is not expected with this. And Robert saying, I never did get any yellow grass in the yard, so it wouldn't upset me if the rain held off a little bit more. Man, my yard is tan. The only thing green is the weeds in the yard, pretty much. Good for you, though. But I never water. That's the problem for me. So check this out. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. There you can see the rain moving through. Again, we can use every drop of this liquid gold passing through because of the drought conditions that we have now. This is around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Here is 8 o'clock. So it looks like nearly 100% chance of rain to get started tomorrow morning, especially around sunrise and out the door tomorrow morning. Grab some of that rain gear. This is at 8 o'clock. So there you go. Let me bring this beautiful view up full screen here for you. So that is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, getting ready for that rain. All right, now as we go ahead here, let's go to mid-morning, 9, 10 o'clock. So now we're starting to see it shut off in southern Indiana, maybe by mid-morning for many locations, especially where it started first, up around North Vernon, Seymour, Brownstown, Mitchell, Bedford, Paoli, French Lick. So those areas, maybe around English, Jasper, starting to dry out first mid-morning tomorrow. As we go to lunchtime tomorrow, so now you're seeing the bulk of the heavy rain moving off to the east, Indiana drying out, and Kentucky left over with some lingering showers. So it looks like it might be a mid-late morning dry out for southern Indiana, might be an early afternoon dry out for Kentucky. All depends on your location. So this is 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, still showing a shower chance in Kentucky, but dry in Indiana. And by that time, dropping temperatures across the area to the lower 70s. And Jeanette Pierce, good morning from Litchfield, Kentucky. We are needing the rain for sure. Have a wonderful day. You as well. So definitely good news to get this rainfall. It's kind of weird because the first half of the year was so wet. And we had the crazy flooding in April and severe weather events, but now we're kind of hoping for the rain as things can change in a hurry. So this is at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and starting to dry out over Kentucky as well as we progress through the afternoon. Now we can bring up the air temperature for tomorrow afternoon and plot some of these out. So take a look there, upper 60s, low 70s. So those are like our maximum temperatures there tomorrow afternoon. So this is going to be a little bit of a roller coaster ride because, oh, well, very sweet of you to say so, Lillian, and you're doing an awesome job. Thank you very much. And if you have any weather questions or you want to see some weather maps that I'm not showing, feel free to drop them in. This is your weather show. Want you to see what you want to see here on Ben at 10. But so good rain chance tomorrow morning. Low 70s for the afternoon highs tomorrow. Feeling fantastic for our Thursday, September the 4th. We can get that out of the way there. And then we can take a look at the total rainfall as well. Let me bring that up here. I believe it's going to be the NAM 3 kilometer that gives us that. Bear with me one second. Maybe it was the HRRR. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is, we got to take this to, that might not be far enough out. Let's go to, I kind of want to do the WRF. There we go. Let's see if we can do this. We'll go to 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And rainfall totals not huge across the area, showing about a quarter to a half inch of rainfall for tomorrow. Should be enough to hold down the dust, give the grass a little bit of a break. Mary Dale asking about what about Ben on a limb? So we're not quite to the long range outlook just yet. But speaking of that, we'll get to that here in just a second. We'll get to the long range here in just a second. We're just looking through the first cold front. We got 2 cold fronts, one tomorrow morning, another one Friday night. Both give us a rain chance. Speaking of which, let's bring up the NAM because that's going to give us a look at the next cold front Friday evening. So we just covered the front for tomorrow morning. Bring up this reflectivity here. So it's going to be September the 5th that we're going into now. So most of your Friday is going to be dry. This is Friday afternoon. Let me go and bring it up so you can actually see it. So this is Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Let's go to 5 o'clock. Starting to see this next chance of rain coming in from the west. Front number 2. Then this is 8 p.m. Friday, showing a chance for some showers there. This thing kind of gets hung up. And the weather models agree with this, that during the overnight, check out that rain increasing late Friday night. This is at 5 a.m. Saturday morning. So late Friday night, early Saturday. This is at 8 o'clock Saturday. So kind of like Thursday, drying out from north to south through the morning time Saturday. So there could be a lingering shower, especially in Kentucky Saturday morning. This is at 11 a.m. Saturday. And then into the afternoon, we begin to dry things out Saturday afternoon. Now, behind that front, we're going to get another blast of some cooler temperatures. Shows the temperatures here at 2 p.m. Saturday. I think we're going to be upper 60s, low 70s Saturday afternoon. And take a look at the dew points here. That's a measure of the water content in the air. So goodbye humidity. There you can see the humid air Saturday afternoon in eastern Kentucky. And there's that nice supply of autumn-like, fall-like dry air back into the area. So we've got a 1-2 combo. The fall fronts are reloading here and giving us that 1-2 punch. Again, we've got front number 1 late tonight, tomorrow morning, getting that much-needed rain chance. Low 70s tomorrow. We pop 10 degrees into the 80s ahead of the next front Friday. And then Friday night, Saturday morning, we get rain with that front moving through. And then we get another blast of that Canadian air moving in. 70s, sunshine, maybe just low 70s and upper 60s for Saturday. And then some mid 70s on Sunday. And next week is looking a bit drier than what it looked like yesterday. So a lot of cool fall things to talk about. Christian, I believe in the morning time, as we saw there with the weather models. I can go back and show you that one more time real quickly here. I'm going to bring up the data. So we'll go back to now. And looking ahead at that rain chance one more time for late tonight and into tomorrow morning. So there you go. For Christian and my family members up in Indianapolis. There you go. During the late night hours, 2 a.m. There you go, Christian. There is your rainfall. And looks like a lot of this rain could be moving out maybe before sunrise for you guys up in Indianapolis. So there you can see that moving on through. That's at 3 a.m. And then so you guys dry out a lot sooner. This is 4 o'clock in the morning with the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. For us in southern Indiana and into Kentucky. This is at 4 a.m. We looked at the HER weather model, but now we're looking at the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. This is showing 5 a.m. Good to see the consistency and the high confidence in this rainfall. Again, we really do need this rain across the area. So there you go. This is at 6 a.m. Here is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we go to 8 o'clock. So front not racing through, kind of taking its time. This is 8 o'clock as we, again, go hour by hour across the area. This is 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. So mid to late morning is when both of the weather models are drying out southern Indiana. Again, the rain lingering a bit longer in Kentucky. So this is at 1 o'clock, and there you can see that heavier rain moving off to the east. And again, not expecting any severe weather with this as we bring up the Climate Prediction Center's. No, I've talked about the CPC a lot, but actually the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, outlook for severe weather for tomorrow, day 2, is just a level 1 out of 5 in eastern Kentucky, level 0 out of 5 for our area. So no severe weather threat expected with this. And then day 3 would be Friday, and no severe weather expected with that. So good just to get some friendly raindrops across the area, not worry about the severe weather. So we have tracked front number 1, front number 2 for Friday, and now let's go ahead and look more at the long-range data, and that would be meaning looking at the Climate Prediction Center and some of the long-range weather models, and that means it is time for Ben on a limb and another sip out of the Big Happy here. So the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center has a high confidence, pretty high confidence, in below average temperatures continuing overall. So we're definitely near normal today, like 85. We get below normal tomorrow in the low 70s. We get back to near normal, 85 Friday, then back below normal Saturday and Sunday. And much of next week actually might be kind of floating a little bit below normal. So overall, it's been a friendly last couple of weeks of August and a good start to September as well, including the much needed rain chances across the area too. Let's go ahead and break out the GFS weather model, which we have yet to do here. And then if you're jumping on a little bit later in our Ben at 10 show, then we'll be recapping the forecast for you as well. So what I want to look at here, the big question we've been getting is, so we've been kind of fall-like, I'd say trending more fall-like than summer-like here recently. When might a muggy, humid, summer-like weather pattern return to the area? So to do that, we're going to need to break out the GFS weather model. And the easiest way to see an air mass change, a change from autumn-like to summer-like, would be looking at the dew point in a rise in the mugginess levels across the region. So we're going to get a couple shots of this fall-like air going into September 6th, Saturday. There you can see, I mean, that is just pure Canadian dry air right there. And I think that along with the ragweed season kind of messing with my sinuses here today. I don't know if you guys have been affected by that as well, but my son is susceptible to nosebleeds, especially when he's doing sports. And I think this dry air can do that too. So let's go. I mean, we can look at Sunday, the 7th. Dry air is in place and just nice weather. That's great handwriting on my part there. So the muggy weather to the south. Let's go into Monday, the 8th. Dry air over us, muggy air south. We're going to the, Tuesday the 9th? Tuesday the 9th here at 5 p.m. Trying to maybe sneak in a little bit of humidity, but not bad in the Kentucky there. But overall, the dry air is still winning out. Let's go Wednesday the 10th. Can we see any change? A little bit, but not crazy. And as we switch this over into the temperature map next Wednesday, I've got 83, might be some low mid 80s across the area, but the big heat, and even that isn't crazy for the Great Plains, is out west. So summer is out west of us through the middle of next week. Now let's go back to the dew point. Again, we're looking for an air mass change. When can we go from fall-like back to summer-like? And I'm going to go into the 11th. So this would be going into next Thursday, so more than a week from now, and it still shows dry air over us. Going into the 12th, that'd be next Friday the 12th. And the heat is out west. Heat building west of us as we go into mid-September. Will that slide our direction? Let's take a look as we go to the 14th. That's the 13th. Let's go 14th. Just not seeing any kind of heat wave anytime soon. So that would be the warmest we've seen on the weather models. This is the 15th of September. Showing a 90-degree temperature nearby by that time. So maybe we'll get summer-like again by the middle of September, but I don't think we're going to get it crazy humid like it was in July. I don't think we're going to have any unbearable heat waves maybe for the rest of summer, because summer would be wrapping up pretty soon right after that. September 22nd is when summer begins. That's looking at September 15th right there. Let me go ahead and back that up. Let's go as far out as the GFS can go on our Ben on a Limb segment here. And there you can see some heat trying to build over the United States around that time. So there you go. And you look at the apparent temperature. That's like, compare that to the heat index. So who knows? We will see. Again, we'll put this in the back of our brains because it's a little ways out. This is September the 18th. Will we see the return of heat in summer by mid to late September? Big question marks there because the weather models can change a lot between now and then. Now, if you're wondering about the tropics, let me go ahead and bring up the radar and satellite one more time, then we'll get a recap of the forecast. And let me go ahead and delete my little drawing there. As far as tropical weather goes, not really anything happening in the Atlantic Ocean. It is clear of storms. There are a couple systems in the Pacific. Lorena and Kiko. And I guess that storm could be heading towards Hawaii down the road. But that's off in the Pacific. And nothing working right now in the Atlantic. September 15th is right around the peak hurricane season. So we've still got a little ways to go here in as far as the tropical weather is concerned. All right. We're going to get back to the forecast here. Christian, you are welcome. We've got Vicky saying it was 69 when we started. Now 73 feels like 84 degrees. It is warming up out there. We've got a lot of sunshine. And there you can see that sunshine that we have as we look live here from Uptown to Albany. Someone biking on by there on Vincennes here at the corner of the Vincennes and Market at Extol Media Studios. Christian asking, how was Labor Day weekend? Labor Day weekend was great. Did a little camping in the cabin, had outdoor fires, all that fun stuff. So thanks for asking. Hope yours was good. We got a woohoo from Barbara Haas. Cheers to you. I get to go play a little work golf today. Looking forward to that. And Lillian, you have a great day as well. All right, so let's bring up the forecast here for you. Again, if you're popping on a little bit later, always like to do that recap here for you. So warm and dry today, mid-80s. We've got rain tomorrow morning, drying out tomorrow afternoon. A lot of Friday is dry, but we have a second cold front that'll move through Friday evening into Saturday morning. And then we've got 70s in store, low 70s tomorrow. We pop back to the 80s Friday, and then we're going to be back into the 70s this weekend. Play ball forecast, noon 78, 85 this afternoon, 77 at 8 p.m., 0% chance of rain, just a southwest wind at around 5 to 15, so we're in good shape for the after-school practices or games or matches out there. Real quick, the stupid dad jokes here. Why was the weatherman always calm? He knew how to weather the storm. That is actually important in meteorology, and being a meteorologist is staying calm and so you can stay steady and communicate properly. How do you know it's a sassy cloud? It throws shade all day. And then this one, for those of you with aches and pains, arthritis, can relate. And I've heard this before. I don't need a weather app. If my knees hurt, it's cold. If they really hurt, it's really cold. And today's weather history, 1925, the USS Shenandoah, a blimp on its 57th flight, crashed near Caldwell, Ohio. It ran into a line of thunderstorms. The commander of the flight knew of the possibility of bad weather even back then, but was ordered to fly anyway. He and 13 others were killed. 1970, the largest hailstone fell at Coffeyville, Kansas. It was almost 6 inches in diameter, weighed almost 2 pounds. For 30 years, it was the largest hailstone recorded in the United States. 5 years later, in 1975, in Indianapolis, the fire department reports 358 calls of lightning strikes. We are just 6 days away from those before 8 p.m. sunsets. Autumn begins in 19 days. Average highs in the 70s in just a few weeks. In average high, but we've been getting an early taste of all of that here for us. And average highs in the 60s in just 46 days. On the allergy report, high today, high Friday. I think it'll be a little bit lower, though, as we hold down some of that pollen with that rain Thursday. UV index is a 7 today. Plenty of sunshine out there. And the forecast summary today for your Wednesday, September the 3rd, 85 degrees, mostly sunny, warm and dry. Southwest wind around 5 to 15. Sunset at 8:09. And tonight's forecast, low 64, increasing clouds and rain developing overnight, mainly after midnight here for us and lasting into the morning hours tomorrow. Could be wettest right around sunrise. And 74 will do it for the high temperature tomorrow. So if you like that cool fall air, there you go. 7-day forecast, first front tomorrow morning, 74 and drying out tomorrow afternoon. We pop up to 85 ahead of the next front. And that'll bring in a decent chance of some showers Friday evening, Friday night, and possibly into Saturday morning, drying out Saturday afternoon. 72 behind that front Saturday, and a lower 50s Saturday night. 75 Sunday, and then gradually warming back up into the lower 80s by the middle of next week. So there it is. There is the big 7-day forecast. Going to bring back up some weather tools here for you to share for you. We've got the live stream up here live, pumped in from YouTube. Like or subscribe. Thanks for slapping that subscribe there on YouTube as we grow the numbers there. And we may go longer than this. We've been going 56 minutes this morning, but we might go hours if we have severe weather or snowstorm. So you'll get that alert if we are going live. If you subscribe there, there's the 7-day forecast, more weather resources, and the interactive radar off to the bottom. And Vicki was talking about those temperatures warming up. We've got 76 on the thermometer there now near Palmyra. We've got 70 in Sellersburg. So starting to move away from the 60s to the 70s out there with just a very light breeze coming in from the southwest. All right, Christian, I'll try to dig those up tomorrow for you. Let me get out of the full screen here on that. And then just resource I always like to check out here along the New Albany and Clarksville waterfront, looking at that beautiful blue sky once again here as that fog has kind of lifted and evaporated as we warm up. Looking here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org webcam right there. I want to thank our partners, as always, Lyons Roofing, Lyons Roofing Co.com, where you can get a lot of resources, information if you have a roof that needs repaired or maybe a whole new roof. You can get more information right here. You can call them 812-294-3595. Both sides of the river in Kentucky and Indiana, they've got you covered here, commercial, residential. If you need financial help, you can ask about that as well. And then sometimes you need financial help from your insurance company if there's storm damage or whatever. And I want to recommend you to Michael Long, who I'll be golfing with later on today. A little golfing talk up in Salem, Indiana. I think it's Western Hills where we're going to go play. 812-578-3072. Give him a call if you want a quote. You can go hit his landing page here online, amfam.com, and send him a message. And more opportunities here for you. libspaving.com. LIBB as in Ben, spaving.com. So there are a lot of different kinds of jobs, especially if you like working outside. You just go to the careers section in the upper right-hand corner, and you're going to see all the job opportunities that I'm scrolling through right now. So there you can apply online. You just hit, say, the superintendent job. You click Learn More. You can learn more about the job, their benefits, all they have to offer, their values as a company. They're a family-owned company right out of the Floyd's Knobs, the biggest asphalt contractor around right there. And then you can see you can apply for the job right there. You can also apply and register to level up your career, maybe change careers. Maybe you're in high school and you want to jumpstart on your career, a head start. Ivy Tech can do that for you, as my kids have already been getting their dual credit, their DC, out of Prosser and from their high school in Borden. They've got partnerships with dozens of high schools all around and really helping out, again, time and money, which is important to all of us. So you just go to location, go to Sellersburg, and you're going to learn more about what Ivy Tech has to offer right here in our backyard in Sellersburg, exit 9 miles north of Louisville. Tuesdays at the Tech is a way you can get one-on-one information, and you can sign up right there and register. So again, thanks to all of our partners there. Thank you, partnering with us, being part of the weather family here in Southern Indiana and beyond. Again, a reminder, this is your show, though. Feel free to drop in the comments. What are we missing here? Do you want to see a map about this or a map about that? We can dig that up. Christian always asking some good questions there. We can dig up that information. Thanks for watching, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine. Maybe you're watching on Extol Weather on Facebook. Thanks for watching from wherever you're at, and extolmag.com/weather online, or perhaps Extol Media on YouTube. And there you can see Peine right there. So beautiful day, guys. There you can see that sunshine out there, and beautiful to get some rain chances back in that forecast here for tomorrow morning. Our yards are going to love it. Lillian coming in with the last report of 72 degrees room temperature out there in Grayson County, Kentucky. All right, that'll do it, guys, for this Wednesday. We'll see you right here tomorrow morning. And I better remember they bring the umbrella, because as I walk into the Extol Media Studios, almost 100% chance that it's going to be raining on my head as I walk in here. So we're actually going to be able to fire up the live radar tomorrow morning. So tune in there, and we'll be tracking that next rain chance for you live. Vicky saying low scores today. I hope so. Either way, it's hard to beat a day out on the golf course. So I'll be heading there very soon. Thank you very much, Vicky, for watching up there in Salem, Indiana. And to all of you watching, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.